joining us right now to detail all of it and tell us what happened. Candace Owens is Turning Point USA's communications director. And Candace, it's good to see you this morning. You've been so incredibly articulate about what's going on. That must have been scary for you. Tell us what happened.
Yeah, so...
Hello, today I will tell you about a profitable way to earn cryptocurrency. Exactly in 1 minute, we can earn from 10 to 50% to the amount. The strategy of earning is to buy cryptocurrency on one exchange and sell on another, and the profit we will get thanks to the difference in exchange rates on the exchanges. To begin, we will need to go to the site Binance, buy cryptocurrency, for example, Bitcoin. Then go to the Dampo's website and sell Bitcoin on it. After that, we withdraw the received money back to Binance. As you can see, initially on Binance I had 4,000 USDT, and after my strategy on the balance of $5,200. And in this way, we can earn many times. The strategy may change, so get in before it's too late.
We were eating at this restaurant, and there was a group of 4 individuals that were bearing the Antifa decal all over their clothing and on their backpack. So we recognized they were in Antifa, and they instantly recognized Charlie and I, and they were whispering amongst themselves, looking back. There was quite some distance between us. They were on the opposite side of the restaurant. But we didn't think anything of it. They recognized us, we recognized them. I guess they sent out a bat signal, if you will, to the local Antifa chapter, and they all came within 20 minutes. There were about 25 to 30 protesters outside on the streets.
What do they want? What are they protesting?
Just us being conservative. You're not allowed to be a conservative thinker and eat breakfast publicly, apparently. We've done nothing. We said nothing. I think the restaurant owner was shocked. At that moment when they realized that their friends had arrived, they shouted at us in the restaurant, calling us Nazis and fascists. And I said, do you realize I'm a black woman? You're calling me a Nazi. I said, are we not allowed to eat here because we're conservative? And we walked outside of the restaurant pretty quickly, and then they were barricading us. And fortunately, the police must have seen them assembling a crowd very quickly, and they created a barrier between us and them. This is an all-black police force, all-minority police force, so it was a jarring sight to see because, as you guys know, Antifa is a white gang.
You know what's incredible to me? No comment. Crickets on the left. Crickets from the Democrats or the left who've actually seen this and are constantly talking about the right and the Republicans who are, upsetting the public peace. Have you heard anything about this from anybody on the left to say this is wrong, what just happened to you?
Well, Maria, this is what they wanted. This is what Maxine Waters called for. She wanted people that support Trump to be approached in restaurants, approached on the streets. Exactly what she called for is what happened at this restaurant yesterday. So we're not too shocked by their silence. We are just shocked at how violent it's grown. In the past, we've seen one person approach somebody that supports Donald Trump or somebody that's in Trump's cabinet. This was 30 people that assembled, and if the police weren't there, God knows what would have happened.
It's not just organization, Candace. It's also funding.
Yes.
Do you have any sense of who is funneling money to these groups, who is organizing them? Because again, it speaks to big money, does it not?
Correct. They're obviously funded. This was 8 a.m. in the morning. I don't know how 30 individuals were able to get off work. This clearly was their job. Many people have said that this is funded by George Soros. I have no information to say that that's true or that's false, and we definitely haven't looked into it. But I think it's time that we understand who is funding these people. People are said that Antifa protesters are paid $20 per an hour in cities. So that could be true. That could be false. That obviously wasn't my #1 concern yesterday, but I think that it needs to now become at the forefront of the conversation amongst conservatives to figure out who is funding these people.
First it was shaming online, all getting together to try to make someone feel uncomfortable or inadequate by the shaming and the name calling. But as this president has increasing good outcomes from some of his policies, they're getting completely unhinged. It's getting worse.
It is. And I think my particular presence obviously annoys them because I'm a black American. And we had that Rasmussen poll released last week, which showed that Donald Trump's support from black Americans has doubled since this time last year. And that is quite remarkable. It's because black America is waking up. We are starting to understand that it is the left that is angry. It is the left that is violent. And it is traditionally and still the Democrats that are racist.
Has this kind of thing happened to you in other places? Was this the first time that you got confronted this way, or is it becoming a regular thing?
So we are always confronted on college campuses. That's what we do at Turning Point USA. We go and we speak about conservative values, free markets and capitalism on college campuses. And as you know, you cannot be a conservative speaker on a college campus today. So we are often confronted with Black Lives Matter protester and Antifa, but we expect them when we bring security.
Yeah.
That was the first time that I've ever been confronted like that in a public space, and to have it be that many people, especially, was a bit overwhelming. And the thing I was concerned about the most is they were screaming in my ear with a bullhorn. What they're trying to do is get you to react. They're whistling in your ear, and that's very loud. You know, it really affects your eardrums to hear that much noise at this distance. So
they know exactly what they can get away with.
Right.
Throwing water on you guys. Not going to get arrested for that. Putting a bullhorn right next to your head, screaming at you, getting this close to your face. As long as they don't touch you, they're not going to jail. It is incredibly insidious.
Correct.
What is going on?
Well, it's great that the police were able to react so quickly. You did not call the police. They
Nope.
just happened to be around, or did the restaurant owner get them involved?
No, the restaurant owner was shocked, and I know that he had given a statement to some media, but I think what happened was maybe one police officer was nearby, saw a bunch of people throwing food at the window, because first they were throwing food at us while we were eating inside, and they likely called other police officers to arrive, because more kept showing up as we were outside. And as I said, all minority police force being shouted at by an all-white gang who were calling us race traitors and saying that all police are racist.
I've said this over and over again. Intolerance, hate, and violence in the name of tolerance.
Correct.
That's what I can't. I don't know, when does
They
this,
hide behind it.
when does this snap? When do people get sick of this?
To me, I feel that it's not going to be until somebody dies. The left refuses to come out and speak against this. The left refuses. The Democrats have not come out and said anything. This has got to be the most viral video online and on the news. It's been the most discussed story. They have said absolutely nothing. And as I said, it's because they condone this behavior. This is their gang.
And they make it like thuggery. I mean, they just want to gang up on people.
Correct. Imagine if a bunch of people in MAGA hats and Make America Great Again hats saw a black liberal in a restaurant and said, "You can't eat here, get out," and they started with a bullhorn to her face. This would be wall-to-wall coverage on every network, and we would never hear the end of it. But that's because they have decided that racism is okay, violence and harassment is okay, so long as it's against conservatives.
That's exactly right. That's why it's okay that the leadership of the FBI and the DOJ completely abused their power. It's okay. It was against Trump.
That's correct. This
Candace,
is how they think.
Thank you very much for joining us. Thanks for sharing what happened to you. Candace Owens joined.
Do you like Candace Owens, or do you absolutely detest her? Do you like me, or do you absolutely loathe me? Wherever you stand on two polarising figures, here we are in conversation. Now, obviously, we talk about politics. Particularly, I wanted to press Candace Owens on the idea that most people that live in systems of elitism and privilege are in those positions because of advantages that have been endowed upon them. Candace Owens, more of an individualist than I am, you might imagine, strongly contests my perspective. Hopefully, we remain respectful and light and kind with one another while vehemently disagreeing. I'm going to have further conversations with Candace Owens, so look out for those. This conversation took place on my podcast, Under the Skin, available on Luminary. You can subscribe to it. There's a link in the description. Let me know what you think about this conversation in the comments below.
Look, I agree, but do you not think this individualistic culture is in itself destroying the principles at a spiritual, human level of community? Do you not think when people see this economic inequality, this disparity, I'm not talking about hating your little rich friend Lola Bell or whoever it was, you went round to see her nanny and were infuriated by it, but thought, oh, well, maybe one day I'll have my own nanny. Do you not think that economic inequality creates in a human being a sense of injustice, of unfairness? Because people, do you know what, Candace? 90% of people that are rich, do you know why they're rich? They was born rich.
Okay, I can tell you something. I think that economic disparity creates that feeling, but a fundamental understanding in economics can help you.
Do you know that
that
the most people that are rich are born rich? It's not like there's a tiny minority of people that are like you that come from a poor background and manage to overcome it. And this is what's a problem I've noticed with a lot of great people, is they sort of believe that their greatness is something that can be replicated, and I don't think it can.
I see. So I believe in the individual. You don't. That's our fundamental differences.
But the primary goal of the individual should be to serve the community.
I do not believe that the primary goal of
What
an
do you
individual,
think the primary
I
goal
think
of the
that once an
individual should be?
individual
To
feels
serve
that they
the
have
individual?
served, so you're discounting the human spirit.
I'm
The
not
hu-
discounting
yes,
it. I'm
is.
saying that's all
Let me
there
ask you-
is.
Let me ask you. No, there's not. In humanity, think of animals in the wild. You don't even have to go to humanity. We can just think about animals in the wild. What is our human instinct, okay? Are you going to make sure that everyone on this block is fed before you feed yourself? Do you go around and say, hey, have you had breakfast this morning? Hey, have you had breakfast this morning? Hey, or are you going to make sure you're eating? And if you have an excess, of course you're going to do the human condition, and our incentives are going to be to want to help
Are
people.
you mental?
Once
Excess. The richest 15 people on the planet have got as much accumulative wealth as the poorest 5 billion.
But
that's an excess.
Hello, today I will tell you about a profitable way to earn cryptocurrency. Exactly in 1 minute, we can earn from 10 to 50% to the amount. The strategy of earning is to buy cryptocurrency on one exchange and sell on another, and the profit we will get thanks to the difference in exchange rates on the exchanges. To begin, we will need to go to the site Binance, buy cryptocurrency, for example, Bitcoin. Then go to the Dampo's website and sell Bitcoin on it. After that, we withdraw the received money back to Binance. As you can see, initially on Binance I had 4,000 USDT, and after my strategy on the balance of $5,200. And in this way, we can earn many times. The strategy may change, so get in before it's too late.
No.
That's an excess.
Okay, excuse me. First and foremost, you're talking about literally 0.00001% of the world is what
Let's
you're talking
get 'em.
about. Okay,
Let's
but
get 'em.
and what are they preaching? What do they want? Socialism, so that nobody else has the opportunity to become what they've become. They're the ones that are
They're
pushing
not preaching
forward.
socialism.
Yes,
That's not
they
real
are.
socialism. Well,
Are you kidding? George Soros doesn't want socialist policies. Jeff Bezos, the richest man in the world, doesn't want socialist policies. They want to make sure that no one else has the opportunity to get to where they
we need
got.
to discuss our language, me and you, because
We do.
Here's what my socialism looks like. Take Jeff Bezos' wealth from him, except for a reasonable stipend for him to live on. Something like, he can have 10 million a year or something. Tax Amazon to the ground.
So the rich people pay for 85% of all of the taxes. You think they should pay for even more?
Do you think
That's fact.
statistically
That's
true?
fact. Yes.
Don't look at me with
I'm telling
that's
you,
fact.
that's a fact.
Face.
The top 10% pay for 85% of all the taxes. When people say they're going to raise their taxes more, I'm just like, how much more? Should we just say just pay for all the taxes?
I say this, that there is no, when you're about to use an example from the natural world, and then
I'm talking about
you
America,
backed
by the
off
way.
it,
I
didn't
forgot
you?
that I'm in. No, I was going to say the instinct when you're in the natural